Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and today we're in the shop, and we're out next to our 1943 Case SC tractor. Now, I haven't touched this thing in probably over a year at this point, and the last video on it I left off. I got new carburetor put on it, and we have fuel to the carburetor, trying to get it to turn over, and it won't fire, it won't even sputter, nothing. So today we're going to do a couple little diagnostic things. I picked up a spark plug tester thing. I've always seen these. I've always wanted to try one. Now, I've checked for spark in the past just by taking the plug out, touching a bolt and cranking it over and seeing the spark jump across the plug. But I want to put this thing on and just see how well this actually lights up and if we, in fact, have good spark. Then I also picked up a compression tester. We're going to test the cylinders and see what we got for compression. However, I have not touched the battery on this since the last time I tried to crank it over and start it. I've had the cables disconnected, the battery's been sitting here, but it's cold, and it's been over a year since that thing's been used, charged, anything like that. So I don't know if we're going to have enough battery power to do any of this. But let's go ahead, get set up, and see what we got. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if the battery's got enough juice to even crank this thing over. I got the cables back on it. They're not tight, they're just kind of on here loose, but they're enough to make a connection. Let's see what we got. It's not turning over very fast. It probably needs to be charged, but let's at least throw the plug tester on there and see if we at least got spark on the 4 cylinders and see how far we get before this thing doesn't crank anymore. All right, so we'll throw this on number 1. Let's see if we got some spark. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there. Got a good connection there. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on 1. But that might be just because it's cranking over so slow, or maybe because it's a 6-volt system, it's just not firing this guy. Try number 2. Nothing. So we're not getting any spark on the first 2 cylinders here. I think what I might need to do is I might actually have to go through and make some new spark plug ends or spark plug wires. I don't know, they don't seem to be gripping on the plugs very well. So I think that might be a step that I need to take care of. Might also not be working because this thing is cranking over very slow, but it's always kind of cranked over slow. And I don't know if that's just the nature of these things being 6-volt, or if my switch for my starter, it is getting warm, so maybe it's just got so much resistance that it's not letting it crank over fast enough. But I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to pull a couple of these plugs out. Let's see if we can get the compression tester on there and just make sure we got compression against all 4 cylinders. And then we can go ahead and deal with the spark issue at a later date. So this is my first time using a compression tester, so this is a new experience for me. But I think I got the right thread pitch hose here, and it's not, I mean, it's about the same distance as the spark plug itself, so I don't think we have an issue of it coming in contact with the piston. Let's go ahead and see if we can thread this in. Okay. Attach our gauge. Let's see what we got. So our gauge is reading hardly anything. I don't know if that's just because it's not cranking over fast enough, or if we have issues, or if I have an air leak in my compression tester here. Let's crank it one more time and see what we got. Again, we got nothing for PSIs here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw in another cylinder. I might even pull all the spark plugs to lose all the resistance across the whole engine and see if we can get the spin a little bit faster and see if we got compression on any other cylinders. All right, let's try cylinder number 2. So that one we got up to 30 psi, which, if that's really what we're getting, that's nowhere near enough. The research I've done said we should have anywhere from like high end 130 to low end like 110. 30 psi, not cutting it. Again, that could be just because it's not spinning over fast enough. I don't know. Under 30. That one's got nothing. Again, I'm wondering if I'm not getting a seal. Or if the compression's really that low. I don't know. Well, I was really, really hoping for some better results than what I got. It kind of stinks, but it may be because I'm doing things wrong. Maybe that spark tester isn't working because the magneto and spark wire setup and being 6 volt will not work with that plug tester. Maybe I need to have a distributor and a modern system for that thing to actually work. I don't know. I know in the past, like I said earlier, I've put the spark plugs in the plugs, held them up to a ground point, cranked the engine over, and I could see spark. I thought it was very weak, and it looked like it might have been intermittent at points, but I did have spark. So maybe I just need to do new wires, and that'll fix that. I don't know, or I got to dig in the magneto. But the real concern I have is the compression. Like I said earlier, when I did a little bit of reading, it sounds like on the high end I should have 140 to 130 psi. On the low end, I should have like 110 to 100 psi compression. And most of these cylinders I'm getting less than 30, which is not good. Again, that might be operator error. Maybe I am doing it wrong. Maybe the hose I have there is the wrong hose and it's not sealing and everything's just blowing past and we're only getting a little bit reading on the gauge. I'm not sure. So I guess this video is more about asking for advice. What should I do? Should I try another compression test? Should I charge the battery, try again? Should I try the hand crank it over by hand, see if that boosts the compression, if I can get it to crank over quicker by hand? Should I pull the head and see what I got for the valves, see if they're seating, see what I got for pistons? I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate any advice you guys have. Just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.